Welcome to Talk Maniac. We live in a world where we're told that presidents, prime ministers, and kings are the ones making the big decisions. Their faces are on our screens, their speeches fill the news, and their handshakes define history. But what if I told you that behind every political leader, behind every election, and behind every war, there are forces far more powerful? For centuries, people have asked the same question. Who really runs the world? Is it presidents? Is it billionaires? Is it shadowy organizations, or something even deeper? Every 4 years, billions of dollars are spent on elections. Campaign ads flood your screens, debates fill your feeds, and the world watches as a new leader rises. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Presidents and prime ministers don't truly control everything. They inherit massive systems, armies, bureaucracies, corporate lobbies, and intelligence networks that existed long before they took office. Think about it. When Donald Trump became president, did he suddenly take control of Wall Street? Did Joe Biden suddenly own the Pentagon? Did Macron in France or Rishi Sunak in the UK dismantle their country's intelligence agencies? No. They stepped into pre-built machines of power. Leaders change, the system remains, leaders change, the system remains. They inherit institutions and networks that span decades, permanent forces that shape policy long after any single elected official is gone. Power is institutional. It lives in contracts, budgets, and the unglamorous work of bureaucracy. The faces we see are often the actors, the stage is built for them, and backstage the levers of power continue to turn. In the next section, we look at who keeps the machine running. So, who keeps the machine running? Let's start with corporations. The global economy is dominated by a handful of giants. Think Amazon, Apple, Google, BlackRock, Vanguard, ExxonMobil. They are richer than many nations. In fact, if Apple were a country, it would rank among the top 10 economies on Earth. These corporations fund political campaigns, write lobbying bills, and influence regulations. When you hear about tax loopholes, deregulation, or trade wars, often it's corporate interests pulling the strings. The politicians are the faces. The corporations are the backbone. Their reach extends from supply chains to our data and daily lives, shaping policy by virtue of scale. Understanding corporate power means tracing money, influence, and leverage. Next, the 4 pillars that form the true backbone of modern power. If we strip away the illusions, global power can be divided into 4 hidden pillars: the military-industrial complex, financial empires, energy cartels, information control, the military-industrial complex. Wars don't just happen, they are profitable. Defense contractors, weapons manufacturers, and intelligence firms thrive on conflict. Every bomb dropped, every missile launched, every military base built, it all generates billions. That's why wars, once started, rarely end. Financial empires. Banks like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and investment giants like BlackRock and Vanguard don't just manage money, they shape governments. When a country is in crisis, who do they turn to? The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, or private lenders. Debt becomes control. Money is influence, credit is leverage. Energy cartels, oil, gas, and now lithium and rare earth minerals. Whoever controls energy controls nations. The Middle East, Russia, and even African nations are battlegrounds not just of ideology, but of resources. Presidents may talk about democracy, but pipelines tell the real story. Information control media corporations, and now social media platforms are the 4th pillar. They decide what we see, what we don't, and what we believe. A war can be won or lost, not just on the battlefield, but in the narrative crafted online. These 4 pillars, military, financial, energy, and information, form the skeleton of modern power. Leaders come and go, but these structures persist. Have you ever wondered why, despite constant promises of peace, wars keep breaking out? Because wars are not just about territory or ideology, they are business models. The Iraq War made trillions for contractors and oil companies. The war in Ukraine has revived NATO weapons spending, and every time a new conflict arises, stock markets for defense companies spike. Presidents can promise peace, but behind them, entire industries depend on war. This brings us to the deep state. Now, the term has been abused and twisted, but at its core it means one thing: the permanent institutions that never leave office. Intelligence agencies, military generals, career diplomats, corporate lobbyists, central bankers. When John F. Kennedy warned about the dangers of the military-industrial complex, he wasn't just speaking to the people. He was warning the very system he was trapped inside. So, who really runs the world? Not presidents, not parliaments, they are the actors on stage. The real power lies backstage. in corporations, banks, armies, and networks of influence that never face elections, never give speeches, and never leave office. This doesn't mean democracy is a lie. But it does mean democracy is incomplete. The question is, do we, the people, accept this system, or do we dare to challenge it? Thanks for watching Talk Maniac. If you found this deep dive valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because the world may not always be what it seems, but knowledge is the first step to power.